Hey, End Time Saints. Nice to see you all that have chosen to come. I'm going to be reading the Apocalypse of Abraham, where it talks about idol worship. Real quick, too, guys. I got fired today from my job, so I have a plan though. I want to get some wood delivered. I have a lot of people that will buy oak wood. I have a lot of orders for cottonwood, but they want oak wood. So I've come up with a plan to get oak wood delivered. I have some family members helping me. I have a GoFundMe set up. I'm gonna, it'll never be a requirement. I'll never put up a paywall for anybody to watch these videos, but I'll leave a Cash App and a Venmo and probably a PayPal. If you guys want to help, if you're able to help, because I know money's tight for everybody. If you're able to help, great. I just need help right now because with this job situation, they just let me go. I'd probably be able to get unemployment, but yeah, I need to come up with some cash for this wood to get delivered. But with that being said, I'll have more time on my hands and I'll be able to make more videos. So it all should work out. God turns everything bad and He makes it good. So it should all work out. But like I said, I'll leave a Cash App and a Venmo and probably a PayPal. If you guys can help, great. I greatly appreciate it. If not, I understand. Times are awfully tough and everybody's losing their jobs. So I understand. But so here we go. We got some idol worship. Let me add the screen. So these are some of the pictures that I dug up in the past. These are what Abraham could have been talking about. You got some not so friendly looking fellers and brothers and sisters here. Obviously, there's some pagan gods here. We've all seen that one. I don't know what this one is. Oh, that's Pan. We know this one from the Bible. These are us. This is us right here. We do not comply. We will not bow our knee to the beast, to the idols. No idol worship here. Look at this one. We all know where that one comes from. This one here is some kind of Hindu. Oh boy, look at this. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, this is Moloch. And excuse me. And when I read the Apocalypse of Abraham, I don't believe he was talking about Moloch or Baal. You'll start to see some of the names, and the names, I have never even heard of some of the names, but I'm just giving you a reference of like what here we have. These are just idols that men have served in the past, and these idols that are made out of stone and metal and gold and silver, they can't deliver us from the enemy. They have no power. So I'm not sure how. And actually, I do remember Jared mentioning that there's a book where I don't know who the patriarch was, but I believe maybe it was Adam. But anyways, Satan did not want to bow to Adam. So what he did is he revolted against God, the Most High, because he wouldn't bow to Adam. So since he wouldn't bow to Adam, he came down and made the seed line of Adam bow to idols, which they inhabited, the fallen inhabited in some way. And we see that through the Old Testament and the New. I mean, just because we live in the year 2021 doesn't mean that there's not idol worship. So I got to find that book that's in, though. If anybody knows what book that's in, you can leave it in the comments. You got that one there. I've seen that one. So anyways, I just figured I'd show some pictures. So, and then here's a few scriptures here. You have no other gods before me, as in Exodus. You shall not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. You shall not bow to them or serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of your fathers on the child to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing steadfast love to thousands of those who love me and keep my commandments. That's what we're called to do, not to serve these idols, not to have idols in our life. And mainly, that's anything that you put before God. But in the, in the incident of Abraham, these men were actually bowing to these gods and asking them for power and actually thinking that they could deliver them. And you'll see that when we read the story. Colossians, put to death, therefore, what is earthly in you, sexual immorality, impurity, passion, evil desire, and covetousness, which is idolatry. Those who pay regard to vain idols forsake their hope of steadfast love. Little children, keep yourselves from idols. Isaiah, all who fashion idols are nothing, and the things they delight in do no profit. Their witness neither see nor know, that they may be put to shame, who fashions a god or casts an idol that is profitable for nothing. Behold, all his companions shall be put to shame, and the craftsmen are only human. Let them all assemble, let them stand forth. They shall be terrified, they shall be put to shame together. The ironsmith takes a cutting tool and works it out over the coals. He fashions it with hammers and works it out with his strong arm. He becomes hungry and his strength fails. He drinks no water and is faint. The carpenter stretches a line, he marks it out with a pencil. He shapes it with planes and marks it with a compass. Oh, a compass. He shapes it in the figure of a man, with the beauty of a man to dwell in a house. There's also one here in Jeremiah where I believe he's talking about Christmas trees and how we bow down to the Christmas trees decked with gold and silver, and how we fasten it with nails and then we bow down to it. What does that sound like? Hey, I don't know. I'm just saying. What else we got here? Therefore, my beloved, flee from idolatry. Psalms, the sorrows of those who run after another god shall multiply. Their drink offerings of blood I will not pour out, or take their names on my lips. Galatians, now the works of the flesh are evident: sexual immorality, impurity, sensuality, idolatry, sorcery, enmity, strife, jealousy, fits of anger, rivalries, dissensions, divisions, envy, drunkenness, orgies, and things like this. I warn you, as I warned you before, that those who do such things will not inherit the kingdom of God. The idols in this is in Psalms. The idols of the nations are silver and gold, the work of human hands. God does not dwell in temples made with human hands. They have mouths, but do not speak. They have eyes, but do not see. They have ears, but do not hear. Nor is there any breath in their mouths. Those who make them become like them, so do all who trust in them. All right, so, I mean, look at them all. A lot of idol worship. And basically, that could be anything today, you know, anything that you put before God, even your job, possibly. You know, yeah, we need to have money and we need to work, but, you know, when you don't rest, when you put your job before your family, when you put your work, your money, your greed before God, that could become idol worship. So we just have to be careful. All right, let me make sure we're good still. Hey, what's up, y'all? Oh, thanks, Beaton. I got your candles burning in the background. They smell good. I like that bourbon wood. That smells really good. Hey, Brave, how you doing? Yep, that's all right. I got some bad news, but it's really good news this morning, so I'm good. I'm going to work it out. God always provides for us, so it's going to be all right. So, yeah, I'm going to read the Apocalypse of Abraham today. I don't know if you guys ever read it, but it's pretty good. It's a little long. I don't know if I'll be able to get it done in one video, but it's pretty good. So you guys just chill out, sit back, relax, enjoy. All right. So let's see here. All right, so chapter 1. On the day I was guarding the gods of my father Terah and the gods of my brother Nahor, while I was testing to find out which god is in truth the strongest. I, then Abraham, at the time when my lot came, when I was completing the services of my father Terah's sacrifice to his gods of wood, stone, gold, silver, copper, and iron, having entered into the temple for service, I found a god named Meramath. I tried looking up this name, couldn't find much on it, so I don't know exactly what it looked like or who it was. I thought it Marduk, but it could be Marduk, but I don't know. It could be a translation error, you know. Carved from stone, fallen at the feet of the iron god, Nakim. And it came to pass that when I saw it, my heart was perplexed, and I thought in my mind that I, Abraham, could not put it back in its place alone, because it was heavy, being made of a big stone. But I went and told my father, and he came in with me. And when we both lifted it lifted it to put it in its place, its head fell off, even while I was holding it by its head. And it came to pass when my father saw that the head of his god Meramath had fallen, he said to me, Abraham. And I said, Here I am. And he said to me, Bring me the axes and chisel from the house. And I brought them to him from the house, and he cut another Meramath from another stone without a head, and he smashed the head that had fallen off of Meramath. And the rest of Meramath, sorry, my phone just went off. And the rest of Meramath, he made 5 other gods, and he gave them to me and ordered me to sell them outside the town road. I saddled my father's ass and loaded them on it and went out to the highway to sell them. And behold, merchants from Fandana of Syria were coming with camels on their way to Egypt to buy cochineal from the Nile. I asked them a question, and they answered me, and walking along, I conversed with them. One of their camels screamed. The ass took fright and ran away and threw off the gods. 3 of them were crushed, and 2 remained intact. And it came to pass that when the Syrians saw that I had gods, they said to me, Why did you not tell? See, this is widespread in this day, it seems like, because they're like, Why didn't you tell us you had gods? Why did you not tell us that you had gods? We would have bought them before the ass heard the camel's voice, and you have had no loss. Give us at least the gods that remain, and we will give you a suitable price. And if you think about it, when I was at work, I would always see statues on people's yards, especially Mary. And I always wonder, like, are these people really worshiping this thing, or they just think that it's going to protect them in front of their house? And especially the little black statues. I always thought that was very racist, that people would have a black statue of a black statue. I thought, I was like, man, that's racist. It's like the little black guy that's holding the ring. Looks like he's going golfing. But I've seen a lot of statues, and especially now at Halloween, all these people that have the ghouls and goblins and the demons and the Nephilim bones. I noticed that this year, that I've never seen the Nephilim bones out on yards. But this year, everybody has them. And it says in the Bible that it'll be as in the days of Noah when the coming of the Son of Man. Well, the Nephilim bones are out there, and I don't know if the enemy's trying to show us what the plans are, but I believe they're coming back. And so all these people are just putting curses on themselves by placing death in their yard. So that's another form of idol worship. They just don't know it. I guess they're ignorant of their ways. But we as God's people, we need to be not ignorant, because it says, "My people perish for a lack of knowledge." You know, we don't want to perish because we're not studying to show ourselves approved. You know, we're not staying diligent on what the enemy's doing out here. And most of us know that these holidays have pagan roots and they're not good. That the Most High God does not want us celebrating pagan holidays. So, all right. So back here it says, and it came to pass that when the Syrians saw that I had gods, okay, they said, why don't you let us know? We would have bought them. Before the ass heard, okay, and then they broke. Okay, so at least the gods that remain, and we will give you a suitable price. I considered it in my heart, and they paid both for the smashed gods and the gods which remained. For I had been grieving in my heart. How would I bring payment to my father? I threw 3 broken gods into the water of the river Gur, which was in this place. Excuse me. And they sank into the depths of the river Gur and were no more. As I was still walking on the road, my heart was disturbed and my mind distracted. I said in my heart, what is the iniquity of activity which my father is doing? Is it not he rather who is God for his gods? Because they come into being from his sculpting, his planning, and his skill. They ought to honor my father because they are his work. What is this food of my father in his works? Behold, Meramath fell and could not stand up in his sanctuary, nor could I myself lift him up until my father came and we raised him up. And even so, we were not able to do it, as his head fell off of him. And he put it on another stone of another god, which he had made without a head. And the other 5 gods which got smashed in falling from the ass, who could not save themselves and injure the ass because it smashed them, nor did their shards come up out of the river. And I said to my heart, if it is so, how then can my father's God, Meramath, which has the head of another stone, and which is made from another stone, save a man, or heart a man's prayer, because they can't, or give him any gift. And thinking thus, I came to my father's house, and I watered the ass and gave him hay. I took out the silver and placed it in the hand of my father Terah. I believe it's Terah, or Terah. And when he saw it, he was glad, and he said, You are blessed, Abraham, by the God of my gods, since you have brought me the price for my gods, so that my labor was not in vain. Is everybody all right? Everybody can see that? And you mean, yeah, be braided. I'm saying that, yeah, the bones are huge. It looks like the Nephilim, just a skeleton though. And I've never seen that on Halloween before. So yeah, they're huge Nephilim bones. You guys can hear me good, and you can see the text, right? Or should I make the text bigger? All right, well, I guess we're good, because I would have saw something by now. All right, so let's see here. Let's see. And I watered the ass and gave him hay. Okay, so he watered the goat, the ass, donkey, and he paid his father. And he saw it, and he was glad, and he said, You are blessed, Abraham, by the God of my God, since you have brought me the price for the gods, so that my labor was not in vain. His labor was not in vain. So it's all about us. It's all about him, what he's making, not what God's shaping, not what God's trimming. Just like out in the garden, we have to trim the tomato plants, the peppers, whatever. We have to brace them up so they don't fall over. But God, that's what God does to us. He shapes us. We're not making God. He's making us. In answer, I said to him, Listen, Father Terah, the gods are blessing in you, because you are a God for them, because you have made them, for their blessing is their perdition, and their power is vain. They did not help themselves. How can they help you or bless me? I was good for you in this transaction, for through my good sense I brought you the silver for the smashed gods. And when he heard my speech, he became fiercely angry with me, because I had spoken harsh words against his gods. But having pondered my father's anger, I went out, and afterward, when I had gone out, he called me, saying, Abraham. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Up, gather wood chips, for I was making gods from fire, it looks like fire, before you came, and prepare with them food for my midday meal. And it came to pass, when I was choosing the wood chips, I found along them a small god, which would fit in my left hand, and on its forehead was written, God Baristat. It looks like barista, which some of us make God a barista, where we just want a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But the God is actually Baristat, and I couldn't find anything on this one either. And it came to pass, when I put the chips on the fire in order to prepare the food for my father, and going out to inquire about the food, I put Baristat near the enkindling fire, saying to him threateningly, Baristat, watch that the fire does not go out before I come back. If the fire goes out, blow on it so it flares up. I went out, and I made my counsel. When I returned, I found Baristat fallen on his back, his feet enveloped by fire and burning fiercely. And it came to pass, when I saw it, I laughed, said to myself, Baristat, truly, you know how to light a fire and cook food. And it came to pass, while I was saying this in my laughter, I saw that he burned up slowly from the fire and became ashes. I carried the food to my father to eat. I gave him wine and milk, and he drank, and he enjoyed himself, and he blessed Maramath, his god. Oh boy. And I said to him, Father Terah, do not bless Maramath, your god. Do not praise him. Praise rather Baristat, your god, because as though loving you, he threw himself into the fire in order to cook your food. And he said to me, Then where is he now? And I said, He has burned in the fierceness of the fire and became dust. And he said, Great is the power of Baristat. I will make another today and tomorrow. He will prepare my food. When I, Abraham, heard words like this from my father, I laughed in my mind, and I groaned in the bitterness and anger of my soul. I believe we can all relate to that, especially when we maybe talk to our friends and family, and how they just kind of look at you like, nah, I ain't buying it. So he was bitterness and anger in his soul. I said, How then is a figment of a body made by Terah an aid for my father? Or can he have subordinated his body to his soul to his spirit, and the spirit to stupidity and ignorance? And I said, it is only proper to endure evil, that I may throw my mind to purity, and I will expose my thoughts clearly to him. I answered and said, Father Terah, whichever of these gods you extol, you err in your thought. Behold, the gods of my brother Nahor, standing in the holy sanctuary, are more venerable than yours. For behold, Zukaias, my brother Nahor's god, is more venerable than your god Meramath, because he is made of gold, valued by man. And if he grows old with time, he will be remolded. Whereas Meramath, if he is changed or broken, will not be renewed, because he is stone. I don't know these names here. What about Loav, the god on the other god, who stands with Zokaias? For he is also more venerable than the god Barasat. He is carved from wood and forged from silver, because he too is a term of comparison, being valued by man according to external experience. But Barasat, your god, when he was still not carved, rooted in the earth, being great and wondrous, with branches and flowers and praise. But you made him with an axe, and by your skill he was made a god. And behold, he has already dried up, and his fatness has perished. He fell from the height to the earth. He came from greatness to smallness. Excuse me. And the appearance of his face wasted away. And he himself was burned up by the fire, and he became ashes, and is no more. And you say, let me make another, and tomorrow he will make my food for me. But in perishing he left himself no strength for his own destruction. This I say, fire is more venerable in formation, for even the unsubdued things are subdued in it, and it mocks that which perishes easily by the means of its burning. But neither is it venerable, for it is subject to the waters. But rather the waters are more venerable than it fire, because they overcome fire and sweeten the earth with fruits. But I will not call them God either, for the waters subside under the earth and are subject to it. But I will not call it a goddess either, for it is dried by the sun and subordinated to the man for his work. More venerable among the gods, I say, is the sun, for with its rays it illuminates the whole universe and the various airs. Nor will I place among the gods the one who obscures its course by the means of the moon and the clouds. Nor again shall I call the moon or the stars gods, because they too at times during the night dim their light. Listen, Terah, my father, I shall seek before you the God, the Father, who created all the gods supposed by us to exist. For who is it, or which one is it, who made the heavens crimson and the sun golden? Who has given light to the moon and the stars with it? Who has dried the earth in the midst of the many waters? Who set yourself among the things, and who has sought me out in the perplexity of my thoughts? I God will reveal himself by himself to us. And it came to pass, as I was thinking things like these with regard to my father Terah in the court of my house, the voice of the Mighty One came down from heaven in a stream of fire, saying and calling, Abraham, Abraham. And I said, here I am. And he said, you are searching of the God of gods, the Creator, in the understanding of your heart. I am he. Go out from Terah your father, and go out of the house, that you too may not be slain in the sins of your father's house. And it came to pass, as I went out, I was not yet outside the entrance of the court, that the sound of a great thunder came and burned him and the house and everything in his house, down to the ground, 40 cubits. Then a voice came speaking to me twice, Abraham, Abraham. And I said, then a voice came, here I am. And he said, behold, it is I, fear not, for I am with you. For I am before the ages, even the mighty God who created the first light of the world. I am your shield and your helper. Here I am. And he said, behold, it is I, fear not, for I am before the world and mighty, the God who created previously before the light of the age. I am the protector for you, and I am your helper. Go get me a 3-year-old heifer, a 3-year-old she-goat, a 3-year-old ram, a turtle dove, and a pigeon. Go take me a young heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a pigeon, and bring me a pure sacrifice. And in this sacrifice I will lay before you the ages to come, and make known to you what is reserved, and you shall see great things which you have not hitherto seen, and make me a pure sacrifice. And in this sacrifice I will place the ages. I will announce to you guarded things, and you will see great things which you have not seen, because you desired to search for me. Amen. That's what we all did. I mean, we were all called by the Father, but we all were searching for something. I was looking for aliens. I thought aliens were how we came here. I thought aliens were the creators, and that's the next deception coming. I'm sure is that these fallen ones are going to show back up, and a lot of people are going to be deceived by him, as I was. But when I was searching for him, he showed himself to me. Unfortunately, he was in a jail cell, but hey, we all have humble beginnings. So, all right, so he was rewarded here because he was searching for me. And I called you my beloved, but for 40 days abstain from every kind of food cooked by fire and from drinking, because you have loved to search me out, and I have named you my friend. But abstain from every form of food that comes forth out of the fire, and from the drinking of wine, and from anointing yourself with oil for 40 days. And then set forth for me the sacrifice which I have commanded you, in a place which I will show you on a high mountain, and there I will show you the ages which have been created and established by my word. Here, 1 second, guys. Is unmuzzling here? Let me Yeah, why? Yeah, I know. Why would they worship statues? I never understood that either. Let me just make sure. Let me make sure Muzzle got a text her there, because she wanted me to text her, but that's why I left a. That's why I let you guys know ahead of time. All right. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, I never understood that either. B. All right. So those who have done. All right. So I'm sorry, guys. All right. So. Okay, so he's abstaining from any kind of food cooked with fire, from drinking wine, from anointing yourself with oil for 40 days, and then set forth for me the sacrifice which I have commanded you, in a place which I will show you on a high mountain. And there I will show you the ages which have been created and established by my word. And I will make known to you what shall come to pass in them on those who have done evil and righteousness in the generations of men, of wine, and from anointing yourself with oil. And then you shall set out for me the sacrifice which I have commanded you, in the place which I will show you on a high mountain, and there I will show you the things which were made by the ages and by my word, and affirmed, created, and renewed. And I will announce to you in them what will come upon those who have done evil and just things in the race of men. And it came to pass when I heard the voice pronouncing such words to me, and it came to pass when I heard the voice of him who spoke such words to me, and I looked here and there, I found no breath in me, and my spirit was frightened, and my soul seemed as departed from me. For I fell down as a stone, as a dead man upon the earth, and had no more strength to stand. And while I was thus laying with my face towards the earth, I heard the voice of the Holy One speaking, Go, Joel, looks like, so obviously it looks like an angel, and by means of my ineffable name, raise up yonder man and strengthen him, so that he recovers from his trembling. That I looked this way and that, and behold, there was no breath of man, and my spirit was amazed, and my soul fled from me. And I became like a stone and fell face down upon the earth, for there was no longer strength in me to stand upon the earth. And while I was still face down on the ground, I heard the voice speaking, Go, Ioel, of the same name. Looks like it's okay. So it looks like the same angel, maybe. Through the meditation of my ineffable name, consecrate this man for me and strengthen him against his trembling. The angel he sent to me in the likeness of a man came, and he took me by my right. And the angel whom he had sent came to me in the likeness of a man, and grasped me by my right hand, and set me up upon my feet, and said to me, Stand up, Abraham, O friend of God who loves you. Let not the trembling of man seize you. For lo, I have been sent to you to strengthen you and bless you in the name of God who loves you, the creator of the celestial and the terrestrial. Be fearless and hasten to him. I am called Joel. Yael, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It looks like Yael, Jol, by him who moves those who exist with me on the seventh expanse over the heavens. A power and virtue of the ineffable name that is dwelling in me. I am the one who has been given to restrain, according to his commandment, the threatening attacks of the living ones of the cherubim against one another, and to teach those who carry him the song of the seventh hour of the night of man. Hand and stood me on my feet, and he said to me, Stand up, Abraham, friend of God who has loved you. Let human trembling not enfold you. For lo, I am sent to you to strengthen you and to bless you in the name of God, creator of heavenly and earthly things, who has loved you. Be bold and hasten to him. I am AOL, and I was, sorry guys, called so by him who causes those with me on the seventh expanse on the firmament to shake, a power through the medium of his ineffable name in me. I am the one who has been charged according to his commandment to restrain the threats. Hang on a second. This is all right, hang on a second, guys. I think we got two different translations going here. 1 second. Sorry, guys. I think we had two different translations going there. I try to put in this one here because it's easier to see. But yeah, there's two different translations. That's what it is. All right, let me find out where we're at, and I'll start reading again. All right, so here, we're going to go back to this one. And God who has loved you, sorry guys, I can't make it any bigger. God who has loved you, let human trembling not enfold you. For lo, I am sent to you to strengthen you and to bless you in the name of God, creator of heavenly and earthly things, who has loved you. Be bold and hasten to him. I am Ioel, and I was called so by him who causes those with me on the seventh expanse of the firmament to shake, a power through the medium of his ineffable name in me. I am the one who has been charged according to his commandment to restrain the threats of the living creatures of the cherubim against one another, and I teach those who carry the song through the medium of man's night on the seventh hour. I am appointed to hold the Leviathans, because through me is subjugated the attack and menace of every reptile. I am ordered to loosen Hades and to destroy those who wondered at the dead. I am the one who ordered your father's house to be burned with him, for he honored the dead. I am sent to you now to bless you and the land which he whom you have called the Eternal One has prepared for you. For your sake I have indicated the way of the land. Stand up, Abraham, go boldly, be very joyful and rejoice, and I also will rejoice with you, for a venerable honor has been prepared for you by the Eternal One. Go, complete the sacrifice of the command. Behold, I am assigned to be with you and with the generation which is predestined to be born from you, and with me, Michael blesses you forever. Be bold and go. Okay, so I'm sorry. This is just another interpretation or a translation over here. And I stood up and saw him who had taken my right hand and set me on my feet. The appearance of his body was like sapphire, and the aspect of his face was like crystolite, and the hair of his head like snow, and a cadaris was on his head. It looks that of a rainbow, and the clothing of his garments was purple, and a golden staff was in his right hand. And he said to me, Abraham, and I said, Here is your servant. And he said, Let my appearance not frighten you, nor my speech trouble your soul. Come with me, and I will go with you. Visible until the sacrifice, but after the sacrifice, invisible forever. Be bold and go. And he went, the two of us alone together, 40 days and nights, and I ate no bread and drank no water, because my food was to see the angel who was with me. That's right. I'd do the same thing. And his discourse with me was my drink. We came to God's mountain, glorious Horeb. And I said to the angel, Saying of the Eternal One, behold, I have no sacrifice with me, nor do I know a place for an altar on the mountain. So how shall I make the sacrifice? And he said, look behind you. And I looked behind me, and behold, all the prescribed sacrifices were following us, the calf, the she-goat, the ram, the turtle dove, and the pigeon. And the angel said to me, Abraham. And I said, here I am. And he said to me, slaughter all these and divide the animals exactly into halves, but do not cut the birds apart, and give them to the men whom I will show you standing beside you, for they are the altar on the mountain to offer sacrifice to the Eternal One. The turtle dove and the pigeon you will give for me. I will ascend on the wings of the birds to show you what is in the heavens, on the earth, and in the sea, and in the abyss, and in the lower depths, in the Garden of Eden, and in its rivers, in the fullness of the universe, and you will see its circles and all. And I did everything according to the angel's command. And I gave the angels who had come to us, the divided parts of the animals, and the angel Ioel took the 2 birds, and I waited for the evening gift. And an unclean bird flew down on the carcasses, and I drove it away. And the unclean bird spoke to me and said, what are you doing, Abraham, on the holy heights where no one eats or drinks, nor is there upon them food for men? But these all will be consumed by fire, and they will burn you up. Leave the man who is with you and flee, for if you ascend to the height, they would destroy you. And it came to pass, when I saw the bird speaking, I said to this angel, what is this, my Lord? And he said, this is disgrace, this is Azazel. And he said to him, shame on you, Azazel, for Abraham's portion is in heaven, and yours is on earth. For you have selected here and became enamored of the swelling place of your blemish. Therefore the eternal ruler, the mighty one, has given you a dwelling on earth. I believe Azazel could probably be, Lucifer or Satan, or any one of the many names, Yada-Boeth, any one of the many names that he has. So, and plus Azazel is in the Old Testament and Enoch. So through you, all the evil spirit, all evil spirit is a liar, and through you are wrath and trials on the generations of men who live impiously. For the eternal mighty one did not allow the bodies of the righteous to be in your hands. See, there you go. So through them the righteous life is affirmed, and the destruction of ungodliness. Here, counselor, be ashamed by me. You have no permission to tempt all the righteous. Depart from this man. You cannot deceive him. And that's for all the people that say that the elect can be deceived. I don't believe the elect can be deceived, because if the elect were able to be deceived, a lot of us would have took the mark or whatever. We would be deceived right now, and that's not the case. A lot of us, God is saving for something special, I believe, because why aren't we deceived? Why have we been chosen not to fall for the enemy? I pray all the time to not be deceived, no matter the cost. So there's a reason we're all here. There's a reason why we all haven't been deceived. And it says the elect would be deceived if it were possible, but God's going to cut the time short. So you cannot deceive him, because he is the enemy of you and of those who follow you and who love what you wish. For behold, the garment which is in heaven was formerly yours has been set aside for him, and the corruption which was on him has gone over to you. And the angel said to me, Abraham, and I said, here I am, your servant. And he said, know from this that the Eternal One whom you have loved has chosen you. Be bold and go through your authority, do through your authority whatever I order you against him who rivals justice. Will I not be able to rival him who has scattered about the earth the secrets of heaven, and who has taken counsel against the mighty one? Say to him, may you be the firebrand of the furnace of the earth. Go, Azazel, into the untrodden parts of the earth, for your heritage is over those who are with you, with the stars and with the men born by the clouds, whose portion you are. Indeed, they exist through your being. Enmity is for you a pious act. Therefore, through your own destruction, be gone from me. And I said the words as the angel had taught me. And he said, Abraham. And I said, here I am, your servant. And the angel said to me, answer him not. And he spoke to me a second time. And the angel said, now whatever he says, you answer him not, lest his will run up to you. For the eternal mighty one gave him gravity and the will. answer him not. And I did what the angel had commanded me, and whatever he said to me about the descent, I answered him not. And it came to pass, when the sun was setting, and behold, a smoke like that of a furnace, and the angels who had the divided portions of the sacrifice ascended. 1 second, guys. From the top of the furnace of smoke, and the angel took with me his right hand, and set me on the right wing of the pigeon, and he himself sat on the left wing of the turtle dove, both of which were as of neither slaughter nor divided. And he carried me up to the edge of the fiery flames, and we ascended as if carried by many winds to the heaven that is fixed on the expanses. And I saw in the air, to whose height we had ascended, a strong light which cannot be described. And behold, in this light a fiery Gehenna was enkindled, and a great crowd in the likeness of men. They all were changing in aspect and shape, running and changing form, and prostrating themselves and crying words I did not know. And I said to the angel, why is it that you now brought me here? For now I can no longer see, because I am weakened and my spirit is departed from me. And he said to me, remain with me, do not fear. He whom you will see coming directly towards us in a great sound of sanctification is the Eternal One who has loved you. You will not look at him himself, but let your spirit not weaken, for I am with you, strengthening you. And while he was still speaking, behold, the fire coming toward us round about, and a voice was in the fire, like a voice of many waters, like the voice of a sea in its uproar. And the angel knelt down with me and worshipped, and I wanted to fall face down on the earth, and the place of highness on which we were standing, now stopped on high, now rolled down low. And he said, only worship, Abraham, and recite the song which I taught you, since there was no ground to which I could fall prostrate. I only bowed down and I recited the song. Could you imagine? Which he had taught me, and he said, recite without ceasing. And I recited, and he himself recited the song. Eternal One, Mighty One, Holy El, God, Autocrat, self-originate, incorruptible, immaculate, unbegotten, spotless, immortal, self-perfected, self-devised, without mother, without father, ungenerated, exalted, fiery, just, lover of men, benevolent, compassionate, bountiful, jealous over me, patient one, most merciful, Eli, eternal mighty one, holy Sabaoth, most glorious, El, you are he my soul has loved. Man, I felt good saying that. My protector, eternal, fiery, shining, light-giving, thunder-voiced, lightning vision, many-eyed, receiving the petitions of those who honor you. And man, that just felt good to read that. Sorry. And turning away from the petitions of those who restrain you by the restraint of their provocations, redeemer of those who dwell in the midst of the wicked ones, of those who are dispersed among the just of the world in the corruptible age. Showing forth the age of the just, you make the light shine before the morning light upon your creation from your face, to spend the day on the earth. And in your heavenly dwelling place there is an inexhaustible light of an invincible dawning from the light of your face. Accept my prayer and delight in it, and accept also the sacrifice which you yourself made. To yourself through me as I search for you. Receive me favorably. Teach me, show me, and make known to your servant, what you have promised me. Chapter 18. And I was still reciting the song. The mouth of the fire which was on the firmament was rising up on high, and I heard a voice like the roaring of the sea, and it did not cease from the plenitude of the fire. And as the fire rose up, soaring to the highest point, I saw under the fire a throne of fire, and the many-eyed ones round about, reciting the song under the throne, 4 fiery living creatures singing. And the appearance of each of them was the same, each having 4 faces, which sounds just like Revelation. And this was the aspect of their faces: a lion, of a man, of an ox, and of an eagle. Exactly like Revelation. Each one had 4 heads on its body, so that the 4 living creatures had 16 faces, and each one had 6 wings, 2 on the shoulders, 2 halfway down, and 2 at the loins. With the wings which are on their shoulders, they covered their faces. With the wings at their loins, they clothed their feet, and they would stretch the 2 middle wings out and fly erect. And when they finished singing, they would look at one another and threaten one another. And it came to pass, when the angel who was with me saw that they were threatening each other, he left me and went running to them. And he turned the face of each living creature from the face which was the opposite, so that they could not see each other's faces, threatening each other. And he taught them the song of peace, which the Eternal One has in himself. And while I was standing and watching, I saw behind the living creature a chariot with fiery wheels. Each wheel was full of eyes round about, and above the wheels was the throne which I had seen, and it was covered with fire, and the fire encircled it round about. And indescribable light surrounded the fiery crowd, and I heard the voice of their sanctification like the voice of a single man. And a voice came to me out of the midst of the fire, saying, Abraham, Abraham. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Look at the expanses which are under the firmament, to which you have now been directed, and see that on no single expanses or any other but the one whom you have searched for, or who has loved you. And while he was still speaking, behold, the expanses under me, the heavens opened, and I saw on the 7th firmament upon which I stood a fire spread out, and a light and dew, and a multitude of angels, and a host of the invisible glory. And up above the living creatures I had seen, I saw no one else there. And I looked from on high, where I was standing, downward to the 6th firmament, and I saw there a multitude of spiritual angels, incorporeal, carrying out the orders of the fiery angels who were on the 8th firmament, as I was standing on its elevation. And lo, neither on this firmament was there in any shape any other host, but only the spiritual angels. And the host I saw on the 7th firmament commanded the 6th firmament, and it removed itself. I saw there on the 5th firmament hosts of stars, and the orders they were commanded to carry out, and the elements of earth obeying them. And the Eternal Mighty One said to me, Abraham, Abraham. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Look from on high at the stars which are beneath you, and count them for me, and tell me their number. And I said, When can I? For I am a man. And he said to me, As the number of the stars and their power, so shall I place for your seed the nations of men, set apart for me in my lot with the Azazel. See, there we go. That's the enemy between the seeds. You know, in the book of Genesis, I will put enmity between your seed and the woman's seed. Before you, and let your fury not rage against your chosen one. Behold, before you led me up, Azazel insulted me. How then, since is he now not before you, did you establish yourself with them? And he said to me, Look now beneath your feet at the firmament, and understand that creation that was depicted of old on this expanse, and the creatures which are in it, and the age prepared after it. And I looked beneath the firmament at my feet, and I saw the likeness of heaven and the things that were within. And I saw there the earth and its fruit and its moving things, and its things had souls, and its host of men, and the impiety of their souls, and their justification, and their pursuit of their works, and the abyss and its torments, and its lower depths, and the perdition in it. And I saw there the sea and its islands, and its cattle and its fish, and Leviathan and his realm and his bed and his layers, and the world which lay upon him, and his motions and the destruction. He caused the world I saw there with rivers and their upper reaches and their circles. And I saw there the Garden of Eden and its fruits, and the source and the river flowing from it, and its trees and their flowering making fruits. And I saw men doing justice in it, their food and their rest. And I saw there a great crowd of men and women and children, half of them on the right side of the portrayal, and half of them on the left side of the portrayal. And I said, Eternal, Mighty One, what is this picture of creation? And he said to me, this is my will with regard to what is in the light, and it was good before my face. And then afterward, I gave them a command by the word, and they came into existence. Whatever I had decreed was to exist had already been outlined in this, and all the previously created things you have seen stood before me. And I said, O sovereign, mighty, and eternal, we are the people in this picture on the side and on that. And he said to me, those who are on the left side are a multitude of tribes who existed previously, and after you some who have been prepared for judgment and order, others for revenge and perdition. At the end of the age, those on the right side of the picture are the people set apart for me, of the people with Azazel. These are the ones I have prepared to be born of you and to be called my people, the right. So all through the Bible it talks about left and right. Look again at the picture. Who is the one who seduced Eve? And what is the fruit of the tree? Oh, here we go. And you will know what will be and how much will be for your seed in the last days. And what you cannot understand, I will make known to you, because you have been pleasing before my face, and I will tell you what I have kept in my heart. And I looked at the picture, and my eyes ran to the side of the Garden of Eden. And I saw there a man, very great in height, and terrible in breadth, incomparable in aspect, entwined with a woman who was also equal to the man in aspect and size. And they were standing under a tree of Eden, and the fruit of the tree was like the appearance of a bunch of grapes of the vine. And behind the tree was standing something like a dragon in form, but having hands and feet like a man's. That's exactly what people talk about seeing, man, these reptilians. And on his back 6 wings of the right and 6 on the left. And he was holding the grapes of the tree and feeding them to the 2 I saw entwined with each other. And I said, who are these 2 entwined with each other, or who is this between them? And what is the fruit which they are eating, mighty? One eternal. And he said, this is the world of men. This is Adam, and this is their thought on earth. This is Eve, and he who is between them is the impiety of their behavior under perdition, Azazel himself. See that? Azazel is probably Satan, Lucifer, whatever we want to call him, Yadaboth, the enemy, the adversary, the accuser. All right, the wicked one, the son of perdition, the dragon. All right, and I said, Eternal, Mighty One, why then did you adjudge him such dominion that through his works he could ruin mankind on earth? And he said to me, Hear, O Abraham, those who desire evil and all whom I have hated, as they commit them over them, did I give him dominion. And he was able to be beloved of them. And I answered and said, Eternal, Mighty One, why did it please you to bring it about that evil should be desired in the heart of men? Because you are angered at what was chosen by you, him who does useless things in your light. And he said to me thus, close to the nations, for your sake and for the sake of those set apart after you, the people of your tribe, as you will see in the picture, what is burning on them. And I will explain to you what will be and everything that will be in the last days. Look now at everything in the picture. And I looked, and I saw there the creatures that had come into the being before me. And I saw, as it were, Adam and Eve, who was with him, and with them the craft of the adversary, and Cain, who had been led by the adversary to break the law. And I saw the murdered Abel, and the perdition brought him and given through the lawless one. And I saw their fornication, and those who desired it, and its defilement and their zeal, and the fire of the corruption in the lower depths of the earth. And I saw their theft and those who hastened after it, and the system of their retribution, the judgment of the great court. I saw their naked men forehead to forehead, and their shame and the harm they wrought against their friends and their retribution. And I saw their desire, and in her hand was the head of every kind of lawlessness, and her torment and her dispersal destined to destruction. So you're either going to be a vessel of wrath and glory, or you're going to be, wrath and destruction, or you're going to be a vessel of the Holy Spirit, which is God's glory. I saw there the likeness of the idol of jealousy, like a carpenter's figure, such as my father used to make. and his body was of glittering copper, and before it a man, and he was worshiping it. And there was an altar opposite, and boys being slaughtered on it in the face of the idol. And I said to him, what is this idol, or what is the altar? Or who are those being sacrificed, or who is the sacrificer? Or what is the handsome temple which I see, the art and beauty of your glory that lies beneath your throne? And he said, hear, Abraham, this temple which you have seen, the altar and the works of art, this is my ideal of the priesthood of the name of my glory, where every petition of man will enter and dwell, the assent of kings and prophets, and whatever sacrifice I decree to be made for me, among my people, among my coming people, even of your tribe. And the body you saw is my anger, because the people who will come to me out of you will make me angry. Man. And the man you saw slaughtering is he who angers me, and the sacrifice is a killing of those who are for me a testimony of the judgment of the completion at the beginning of creation. And I said, Eternal, mighty one, why did you establish it to be so, and to call in the testimonies of this one? And he said to me, hear, Abraham, and understand what I will explain to you, and answer whatever I ask you. Why did your father Terah not obey your voice and abandon the demonic worship of idols until he perished, and all his house with him? And I said, Eternal mighty one, surely because it did not please him to obey me, nor did I follow his works. And he said to me, hear, Abraham, as the counsel of your father is in him, as your counsel is in you, so also the counsel of my will is ready. In days to come you will not know them in advance, nor the future men. You will see with your own eyes that they are of your seed. Look at the picture. And I looked and I saw, and behold, the picture swayed, and from its left side a crowd of heathens ran out, and they captured the men, women, and children who were on the right side. See, it's always the left and right. You know, Jesus sits at the right hand of the Father. There's so many instances of left and right. Sorry to get a drink. All right, so we got left and right. He's seeing the heathens run from the left side, and they captured the men and children who were on the right side. And some they slaughtered, and others they kept with them. Behold, I saw them running to them by the way of 4 ascents, and they burned the temple with fire, and they plundered the holy things that were in it. And I said, Eternal One, the people you received from me are being robbed by the hordes of the heathen. They are killing some and holding others as aliens. And they burned the temple with fire, and they are stealing and destroying the beautiful things which are in it. Eternal Mighty One, if this is so, why now have you afflicted my heart, and why will it be so? And he said to me, listen, Abraham, all that you have seen will happen on the account of your seed, who will continually provoke me because of the body which you saw, and the murder and what was depicted in the temple of jealousy, and everything you saw will be so. So we have to be careful here, guys. You know, this is talking about a lot of Old Testament and the temple, and you can kind of see the writing on the wall, what's being said here. But even to this day, we are supposed to fear the Most High, and we are to be children of the Most High, and not to provoke His anger, not to vex the Holy Spirit. You know, we are to be like Christ. So, all right, let's see. Iniquity now past, but make commandments in them more than His just works, for you can do this. And he said to me, again, the time of justice will come upon them at first through the holiness of kings, and I will judge with justice those whom I have created earlier to rule from them in them. And from these same ones will come men who will have regard for them, as I announced to you and you saw. And I answered and said, Mighty Eternal One, you who are sanctified by your power, be merciful in my petition, since for this you informed me and showed me. Since you have brought me up onto your height, therefore inform me, your beloved, about whatever I ask. Will what I saw be their lot for long? And he showed me a multitude of his people, and he said to me, for this reason it is through the 4 ascents, you say, that my anger will be because of them, and in them will be retribution for their works. And in the 4th ascent is 100 years. And 1 hour of the age will also be 100 years, in evil among the heathen, and an hour in their mercy, even with reproaches as among the heathen. in Book of Revelation, it says that I will spare you from the hour of temptation. Something, I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but it talks about he's going to spare some of us from the hour of temptation. And I said, Eternal Mighty One, how long a time is an hour of the age? And he said, I decreed to keep 12 periods of the impious age among the heathens and among your seed, and what you have seen will be until the end of time. Count it up, and you will understand. Look down at the picture, and I looked and saw a man going out from the left, the heathen side. From the side of the heathen went out men and women and children, a great crowd, and they worshipped him. And while I was still looking, those on the right side came out, and some insulted this man, and some struck him, and others worshipped him. And I saw that as they worshipped him, Azazel ran and worshipped and kissing his face. And he turned and stood behind him. And I said, Eternal Mighty One, who is this man, insulted and beaten by the heathen, with Azazel worshipped? And he said, and answered and said, Hear, Abraham, the man whom you say insulted and beaten and again worshipped is the liberation from the heathen, for the people who will be born from you in the last days, in the 12th period of the age of my fulfillment. I will set up this man from your tribe, the one whom you have seen from my people. All will imitate him. You consider him as one called by me. They are changed in their counsels, and those you saw coming out from the left side of the picture and worshiping him. This means that many of the heathen will trust in him, and those of your seed you saw on the right side, some insulting him, some beating him, and others worshiping him. Many of them shall be offended because of him. It is he who will test those of your seed who have worshipped him in the fulfillment of the 12th hour, in the curtailing of the age of impiety. Wow, sounds like right now. Before the age of justice starts to grow, my judgment will come upon the heathen who have acted wickedly through the people of your seed who have been set apart for me. In those days I will bring upon all earthly creation 10 plagues through evil and disease and the groaning of bitterness of their souls. Such will I bring upon the generations of those who are on it, out of anger and corruption of their creations with which they provoke me. And then from your seed will be left the righteous men in their number, protected by me, who strive in the glory of my name toward the place prepared beforehand. For them which you saw deserted in the picture, and they will live, being affirmed by the sacrifices and the gifts of justice and truth in the age of justice, and they will rejoice forever in me, and they will destroy those who have destroyed them. They will rebuke those who have rebuked them through their mockery, and they will spit in their faces. Those rebuked by me, when they are to see me rejoicing with my people, for those who rejoice and receive and truly return to me. See, Abraham, what you have seen. Hear what you have heard. Know what you have known. Go to your inheritance, and behold, I am with you forever. How you guys doing? 1246. Yeah. Well, it's good to see that some people are still here. Effed Up World, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? I got Effed Up World on my chat. Wow. Hey, bro, glad to see you can make it, man. I never thought I'd have Effed Up World on my channel. Wow. Well, God bless, guys. Oh, that's not the right one. All right. So, and while he said, go get your inheritance, Abraham. And while he was still speaking, I find myself, I was going to read the bigger text, guys, but obviously you saw it a different translation. And while he was speaking, I found myself on the earth, and I said, Eternal Mighty One, I am no longer in the glory in which I was above, and all that my soul desired to understand in my heart I do not understand. And he said to me, I will explain to you the things you desired in your heart, for you have sought to know the 10 plagues which I prepared against the heathen, and I prepared them beforehand in the passing of the 12 hours on earth. Hear what I tell you. It will be thus: the first, sorrow for much need; the second, fiery conflagrations for the cities; the third, destruction by pestilence among the cattle. That'll be a real pestilence. The fourth, famine of the world of their generation. The fifth, among the rulers, destruction by earthquake and the sword. The sixth, increase of hail and snow. The seventh, wild beasts will be their grave. The 8th, pestilence and hunger will change their destruction. The 9th, execution by the sword and flight and distress. The 10th, thunder, voices and destroying earthquakes. And then I will sound the trumpet out of the air, and I will send my chosen one, having in him one measure of all my power, and he will summon my people, humiliated by the heathen, and I will burn with fire those who mocked them and ruled over them in this age, and I will deliver those who have covered me with mockery over to the scorn of the coming age, because I have prepared them to be food for the fire of Hades, and to be ceaseless, soaring in the air of the underworld, regions of the uttermost depths, to the contents of a wormy belly. For the makers will see in them justice, the makers who have chosen my desire and manifestly kept my commandments, and they will rejoice with merry making over the downfall of men who remain and who followed after the idols and after their murders. For they shall putrefy in the belly of the crafty worm Azazel, and be burned by the fire of Azazel's tongue. For I waited so they might come to me, and they did not deign to me, and they glorified an alien god, and they joined one to whom they had not been allotted, and they abandoned the Lord who gave them strength. Therefore, hear, Abraham, and see, behold, your 7th generation shall go with you, and they will go out into the alien land, and they will enslave them and oppress them as for 1 hour of the impious age. But of the nation whom they shall serve, I am the judge. I am the Lord, said this too. Have you heard, Abraham, what I told you, what your tribe will encounter in the last days? Abraham, having heard, accepted the words of God in his heart. Wow. I don't know. Is that all of it? I guess that's it, guys. Yeah, that's a great book. Just like all these books. Dude, I don't know why people don't want to read these. No, I really don't know. So what's up? Yeah, you love it. I love that book too, Effed Up World. Great job, man. I love your videos, bro. Hey, Muzzled. So what's up, guys? Everybody doing all right today? Yeah, like I prayed about this. I prayed about this all morning if I was going to say anything about my job. You know, it sucks. It is what it is, though. But, you know, I've been getting signed. I knew the writing was on the wall. I mean, let's be honest, a lot of people are losing their jobs. It's not a big deal. I had to get out of Babylon anyway sometime. You know, so it is what it is. I couldn't, they wanted me to wear a mask all day. I had cameras on me all day. Well, I don't know why we have to wear a mask while we're driving by ourselves. I didn't want to do it. She told me she was going to look at the cameras today to see, and then when I got a call a few hours later after she said that, and she said, yeah, we looked at your cameras. We hate to inform you, but we have to let you go. I'm like, well, it is what it is. So, but anyways, I got a plan, guys. I cut cottonwood wood. I split it and I sell it, but a lot of people want oak wood. So, I mean, if you guys can help, great. If not, you know, I'll never be like, oh, you got to, you know, we're going to a paywall or support me on Patreon. I'll never do that. You know, I'm just looking for a little help to get this wood delivered, and it is what it is. You know, if you guys can help, great. I'll leave, you know, like I said, I'll leave a couple of links down below. Actually, I'll put them in the comments, and if you guys want to help, great. If not, I know how it is. Everybody's tight on money. And if you help, great. If you don't, I'm still going to make the videos. You know, if you guys help, I can get the wood. You know, I can make the same amount of money cutting wood in a couple hours that I can make delivering. So I'll have more time to make videos and get more guys like Effed Up World on this channel. Yeah, we got cameras all day. There we go. Yeah, we got cameras on us all day. And if you accelerate too fast, if you brake too fast, corner too fast, if you don't wear your seatbelt, if you scratch your back, they ding you, and they want you to have 0 infractions every day. So, you know, so if you're following the dot and the dot comes up too quick, it says you got 100 feet, but the dot shows up right quick, you got to stop. And if you do stop too fast, you get hit with an infraction. Wearing the seatbelt, stopping too fast, driving too fast, cornering too fast, seatbelt, distracted driving, you know, you name it. They're looking for everything. I guess they figure if you're not going to wear your mask or you're not going to get the upgrade, they have to control the way you drive. So it is what it is. I knew it was coming because they're playing with me, and I knew something was coming. And plus, they kept on giving me days off. And I think she was trying to get me to quit, but I ain't gonna quit. I ain't a quitter. I've been in worse situations than that. Oh yeah, you know that's right. Not the blood of the jab, baby. We don't need no pharmakia. You got that right, brother. I already drew my line in the sand a long time ago. I told myself I would not. Well, I'm not going to comply to these rules, man. We're just like in Babylon. You know, we're like the three brothers that would not bow their knee. What state is he in? I'm in Michigan. I don't know if it's different, but they have cameras on everything now. Or maybe it's just my boss. I don't know. But we're in Michigan, and I'm not sure how they're going to do it because they're short drivers already. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I even talked to my old man. He's like, dude, I wouldn't be able to do it if I had cameras on me all day anyways. Minnesota there. Yeah, well, I wonder where Muzzle's at. I'm in Michigan. I'm in Riley, Michigan, which is like an hour from Detroit. I'm kind of in the sticks. Like I live in the middle of nowhere. There's my garden. It goes to the left too, but I'm in the middle of nowhere. So thank God for that. God got me out of the country. And 7 years ago, I was living in the city. Just got off of drugs. Started going to church. Met a good dude that used to be a Hell's Angel, and he started taking me to church. I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, if God can save this dude, he can save me. And I went to the church down in Detroit, Michigan, which is Peacemakers International. Like I said, the dude used to be on heroin, methadone, but now he's down there preaching to the homeless, and he's got homes for them. You know, there's not much money down there, so I don't even know how he makes it, but he makes it because God provides for him. There's no money coming down there. So, yeah, I appreciate it, B. Eden. I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link in the comments if any of y'all want to help. I know money's tight for a lot of y'all, so it is what it is. But I figured I'd at least ask. I even did a GoFundMe, and that took a lot of prayer to do because I don't like asking for money. So yeah, but that's what it is. So yeah, you guys enjoy that story, man. There's so many good books. Well, I know most of y'all know that are from this channel, but this is Effed Up World. This is where it's from. Zen Garcia, The Great Commission 3. You know, yeah, you can get all these books for free, but you know, I like to support Zen. I like to support anybody that's doing good work out here. And I showed you guys a lot of this, but I'll show you since you're new. Got Abraham, Moses, Daniel, Apocalypse, Elijah, Ezra, Shadrach, Sibylline Oracles. I haven't read that one yet. I've read a lot of these. I'm just starting to share them with you guys. Yeah, I love Zen, dude. Yeah, I got a lot of Zen. I got this hat from Zen. I got so many books I haven't even read yet from Zen's. Yeah, I shared that video this morning from Dimitri Zedeman or Dimitri Duneman. Jared's always talking about him. That's his grandson that shared that story. I mean, the writing's on the wall. If people couldn't see this coming, then they're not heeding the Holy Spirit, and they're not asking for discernment. I mean, America is going down slowly, but that's all planned, you know, and this is all in God's hands. So as children of God, we just have to stay firm on the rock of Christ and just continue to give the good news. And basically at this point, I feel like, you know what, we're here for encouragement for the body, because most of the people that you talk to, they don't care. Most people are just worried about getting the jab and keeping their job and their worldly things. And it was only a matter of time before that came to Amazon. So yeah, he is kind of like a scribe, ain't he? Yep. Yeah, he sure is, man. Hey, back in the day, he was the only one really putting these books out. I mean, there was a few others. Robert Farrell's a good one too. Effed Up World. He's on some of my channels. He did the Super Gospel. That's a good book to check out too. Yeah, I got some Flat Earth books I got to read still. I got quite a few, man. Same with Adam Fint. Yep, I like him. Parable of the Vineyard. Yep, that's a good channel. I sometimes watch that Kingdom in Context, but I don't know, man. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Unmuzzled. It's a little like I know, and it's this, or this. He calls a lot of these books uninspired too, and it's not our place to call a book inspired or not. I think each person should do that on their own. Allow the Holy Spirit to tell you if the book's inspired or not. I'm not going to come here and yeah. Brian, use your unemployment money from getting fired for your business. Yeah, but that I can. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to have to apply. I'm going to try, see what happens. And that worked out. Yeah, I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. As long as everything goes all right. I didn't know if you could if you got fired. To be honest. So yeah, I mean, here we go. We got all kinds of idols. Like I said, I don't know if that's a deity. Look at this beauty. And this is what people are serving these days. Got the whole pharmakia. You're either goats or we're sheeps. I'm gonna be a sheep. Oh, here's another great idol. Huh. This is the most current idol that we can relate to right now. What else we got here? What is this? Oh yeah, this is definitely. Yeah, that looks like it's Catholic. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. The things that people pray to and bow down to is just amazing. Sometimes it's like when I was a new follower of Christ, it was hard enough for me just to believe in God. But how are people going to put their faith into this crap? What is this, Obama? Is this Barack Obama? Oh, no, that's Akhenaten or whatever. It looked like Barack. Oh, Abomination. Oh, there's Barack. Yeah, nice. So yeah, man, idol worship. A lot of us can get caught in this if we're not careful. I used to put my worship in my firearms. That's even when I was a Christian. I spent so much time on my guns when I should have been reading the Word. So that's why I put the Word first. I put God first on everything now. So yeah, man. Well, it's good all y'all showed up, all you brothers and sisters. Master Dog Groomer and remodeled my house. Hey, thanks, After World, man. Yeah, I'm just getting started, bro. I had to conquer my fear of getting on camera, but I'm getting there, man. It's just a process, I guess. All right, guys. So, like I said, I'm gonna leave the description. If you guys want to help, great. If not, I am gonna apply for unemployment too. So hopefully that will work. I don't want to say too much on here, but it is what it is. Yeah, but I did get fired. So, all right. Well, be Eden, Effed Up World. Nice to see you, bro. Never thought I'd see you on my channel, man. I'm a carpenter. Yeah, that's what our boy Jared. Hey, check out. I'm gonna share a channel for you, man. You might like this guy. This is Jared. This is a good friend of all of ours. He reads a lot of the books that we all love. That's Jared, the carpenter's son. He has a good channel, man. He's the one. He got me through a lot of bad times, man, at work. Right. Be Eden, Effed Up World, Unmuzzled, and I thought I saw Braided somewhere. Well, Well, thanks guys for coming. I'm gonna try to do a video every day now, maybe 2. Maybe I'll do one in the morning that I mirror, and then Daniel mentioned that I should try to do a video at the same time every day. I try to figure out when everybody's around so that you guys can all, everybody can all come on here live and everybody can kind of converse together. Before I just had to do it in the morning because thanks, Muzzle. Man, she's quick. That girl's quick. All right, so yeah, so I was thinking about, yeah, you guys tell me in the comments too if you want. Let me know when everybody wants me to do a live. You know, because it is nice when Jared's on, you know, that we all get to talk and hang out. All right, y'all, and Unmuzzle, yeah, if you ever want to go live, and you guys want to go live with me and we can read text or we can just kick it. We can just ramble. You know, as long as we all can talk in code, because you know how YouTube is. YouTube used to be the wild, wild west. Now it's like you got to be extremely careful. All right, guys. Well, Jesus be with you. Yeshua be with you today, days to come. And I appreciate all you guys. Yeah, have a blessed day. And thanks to all you coming and checking this out. Share the video, too, if you can. Give me a thumbs up, I guess, if it matters. I'm not sure or not. But all right, guys. God bless. Love you all.